Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, members of the public, everyone in Guyana, everyone in the diaspora, and everyone who has been paying attention to everything that's been going on in the Guyanese media. Right. Now, this morning, very, very important. You look at me, I'm tired. Tons and tons of work in the last 24 hours, just verifying, checking, and exercising, due diligence within an investigating process. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to read what is listed here. There's been a lot of digging, lots and lots of digging that's been happening. And I can tell you what I have found. Some people may not like, some people may not like it, but lots of digging. Morning, Pearson. Many blessings, brother. Many blessings. All right, Pearson, I want you to take a moment. Read what's up there. Facts have been coming in, brother. And this is very, very important to everyone that is paying attention. Before I proceed, I would like to thank the Honorable Minister of Tourism, Susan Rodriguez, for clearing the air and making herself open to public scrutiny, right? By putting up the facts. And these are facts that can be defended, right? And I want everybody to pay attention because these are facts that can be defended. Okay? These are facts that can be defended openly in public. These are facts that can be defended in court of law. These are facts that can be defended from a government office or from any position. Right? But there's been tons and tons of talk about this whole thing. Even people making songs about rich like Suzanne and this and this. By the way, that was a very creative and very funny song, but distasteful for the reasoning behind it. But you see, it shows that Guyanese are brilliant when we want to be brilliant. We can be creative when we want to be creative. Unfortunately, we tend to be creative with a bunch of skunt, right? And I always tell people I do my best to come from a very fair point of view. If there's something out there, I would do my part to check it, especially since, especially allegations against the government. Because as most of you know, I've been supporting the government since 2020, and I continue to support the government in 2025. But with all of the allegations that have been coming out, they are very serious allegations, and these are allegations that needed to be addressed. And I do know that just like myself, we may not always trust the government to address these or to police themselves, which I still think is probably not the right thing to do, And of course, with the issue of the delay of swearing in, there are some constitutional questions there. And because of those constitutional questions, of course, it's going to lead to a whole bunch of other stuff being questioned, right? And of course, if you're like me and you like to be knowledgeable about what you're involved in, then in my opinion, that's the right way to go. Do your best to get all of the facts. Now, of course, there are other areas that may come up later on. There may be other allegations made against officials. There may be other allegations made against individuals as well. And all of these allegations must be investigated. Now, I am not part of any government agency. I'm not part of any type of authority figure. But what I am is a citizen of Guyana. And I investigate to verify if I've made a decent judgment on my political decisions, because whoever we choose to run the country, there are pros and there are cons to it. Okay? And based on findings, by the way, let me state again, those findings are defendable. Okay? There is a legal, solid defense to what has been found, right? And a lot of those things, if there's persons with any funny question right now about if this minister is corrupt. You can ask certain questions right now, and I can defend it based on what was found. Right? A lot of work went into this because, you know, that's a prominent figure in our country, and in my opinion, she has been attacked. I want people to know this. She's been attacked, right? She's been attacked because she was previously associated with Mr. Azuddin Mohammed, whether as a government minister, you know, unfortunately. To all ministers, be careful who the fuck you take a picture with. I know some of y'all might not want to take a picture with me and thing, but I'm not that type of twisted person. But you need to be very careful who you're taking pictures with and who hands you shaking, because plenty people, wicked bad, right? And we needed to clear this air here because it's going to go both ways, right? So, you know, while I'm here on air, I want to help bring it close to this matter, at least in the public realm. If there's anybody that has a question about this particular matter now, and you have a legal, legitimate question, I encourage you to bring the question while I'm here live on air before I have to go and do actual my work too, right? Because I got a ton of work to do. But if there's any question based on what I've come across here, based on the facts that have been presented, every one of the minister's actions can be legally defended. There has been no crime against the people of Guyana in relation to the minister doing her day-to-day life. No crime. But I will tell you what I have found within my personal investigation here. I have found the minister to be a humble person. I have found the minister to be a hardworking person. I have found the minister to be diligent at her job, very, very active. I have found that she has been overworking 80% of the time. I have found that she has been a great representative for the people of Guyana. I have found that she was non-biased. She has not been biased in terms of helping people in this country get properties and house and land. And I'm telling you, she's been doing a good job in the ministry. And to the best of my research, to the depth by which I'm allowed to go, I have not found any evidence of skullduggery, using any government office in any personal way for gain. Now, with that being said, if there is something else out there, I'm not finding it. Mind I say, if there is something else out there, I am not finding it. Okay? I have found, based on what's going on, Ms. Rodriguez has been doing very good financial management of her personal wealth. Yeah, Pearson, I know, bro, it's kind of hitting a little hard there, bro. But like I said, if anybody has any questions about this, the facts can actually answer these questions. And I'm here to answer these questions. And what I don't want is an unnecessary attack on the minister if the allegations, you know, were not leading in any direction to say that this woman was actually involved in something. Right? But in terms of robbing the country or frauding the people and things, the minister, at least there is no evidence of any such thing. Okay? The claims made by the presumptive opposition leader were that Ms. Rodriguez had paid for properties in full cash. Based on the evidence provided, Ms. Rodriguez, like any other citizen, would have taken out loans. Now, some people would say, well, based on her income and this and this and this, how can she get these loans? Listen, the company that she used for the mortgage is a high-risk lender. That person takes chances. That company also has well over 25 years of financial credibility in the United States of America. Everything that they do must be submitted to all U.S. authorities. All those things become public knowledge, ladies and gentlemen. That company does not do anything illegal, right? Especially when it comes to all large financial transactions are all of those things are declared to the U.S. government. All. Okay? If there was any substantial large cash transactions, it would have immediately flagged the attention of the authorities over there, and they would have moved in immediately. Okay? Just putting this here. Like I said, now it's very important for persons to look and see if they can find any fault in this woman. Because at least if there's a fault there, it is not against the people of Guyana. Anything else beyond that, there's her personal business. Let me stipulate this. Okay? And there are authorities and there are institutions that are in place to verify those things. Right? Including the entire banking sector. And all of that is people's personal business, which is not my place to discuss here. But I can assure you that based on all the evidence that has been provided, the minister has acknowledged the request of the voting class here in Guyana. She has helped us get clarity on this matter in a way that is transparent and defendable. Listen carefully to what I'm saying. In a way that is transparent and defendable. All right? However, because the allegation came from the opposition and it was against the government official, and those allegations could affect the entire country and how the country is managed and run, those allegations required some form of investigation. Now, I can assure you, based on what I have checked, and I'll say this again, I will reiterate my statement. Based on the findings of our personal investigation of this matter, there has been no evidence of a crime against the people of Guyana from our Honorable Minister, Ms. Susan Rodriguez, while she is in office. Absolutely no evidence of a crime committed. I state it once again, what has been found is that she has been an exceptionally hardworking individual in her post and in her office. What has been found is that under her watch as housing minister, there has been more development happening in the housing sector from 2020 to this current day. I must give credit to those who have put her in that position, because other than another minister who had the housing sector in the past, she has continued a dynamic development in housing while she was in office at the housing ministry. I must commend her team because the evidence shows that the entire team has been working diligently to build and develop the nation. And forgive me if anyone felt that anyone's character would have been in question, but of course, the United States government did say anybody associated with a sanctioned individual is to be questioned. Right? Is to be questioned. Now, based on all this questioning, based on everything that this poor woman has just went through, and I say poor woman because right now I view the minister as a victim of a lawless, wrongful character assassination attempt. Fact. Because there's no evidence that is currently available to substantiate the claim of corruption. Let me state that again. There is no evidence currently available from all the information that has been put out there to substantiate a claim of corruption against the minister. And it is defendable. Let me state that again. It is defendable. And if there's anybody with a question in relation to that woman's character and this particular matter and this particular allegation, feel free to put your question up and I will answer it as honestly as I could based on all of the information that I have here. I'm a fair person. I'm not an unfair person. I have taken everything into consideration. Even myself being nervous about these allegations that have been made as an investor in Guyana. As somebody that encourages other people to invest in Guyana. And I would like to reassure all of those investors who are investing in Guyana that the allegation made against the minister can be backed up with evidence to show that the allegation is false. There's been no crime committed against the people of Guyana in relation to this issue. I would say the only crime the minister was guilty of was poor associations. But, of course, ministers would go and they would support the entire public. They would do certain things. And they would, it's all part of the PR. And people will take that PR and they will spin that PR to their advantage. Be very, 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 very careful, ladies and gentlemen. Who you're mixing with. Because you don't know what can happen. There's a reason why I keep myself isolated. Because you don't know what can happen. You sometimes guilty skunk by association. Gotta be mindful. Gotta be safe. You gotta be clear. And one thing I promised everybody was that I would be fair. I would investigate everything. I will check to the best of my ability. If I don't know something, I'm gonna put it out there and I'm gonna ask for help. Right? And I know, I hope the same people who take the clips of my videos, I hope they can take a clip of this and they can also put it up. Because if it sounds one way, you will put it up. I hope that when it sounds the next way, you will clip it out and you will put it up too. And at this moment, I ask, it's 9:02 a.m. day. For anybody that has a question based on that, to the best of my ability, I will answer it here for you. Everything done so far has been done by the book. and no evidence of corruption has been found. Anything beyond that is people's personal financial business, and it has nothing to do with the country. Let me clarify this. Anything outside of that is people's personal financial business, which has nothing to do with the country because it's not tied in. Okay? So, as it is, I'm waiting to see if anybody has any comments. Facts are above. And in the event that anybody would like to dispute anything, I have a whole few other people full of facts that I'm holding to ensure that if anybody attempts to attack this woman again, there is an adequate and solid public defense in place for the minister. Right? Allison Richards. Well, here's the thing, right? The reasoning behind Mr. Muhammad's accusations could be personal, could be a lot of things. However, it may not even be factual, because at least this is not proven to be factual. But for the sake and out of respect for all of the people who voted for the opposition, she gave the opposition 16 seats. At least give Win Party, I believe, 16 seats. Those people can become victims if they follow false information. And the opinion of those citizens deserves to be reviewed. It deserves to be catered to so that we can go ahead and we can keep transparency across the board. Now, Mr. Muhammad came out with an allegation. He put paperwork, he put facts. And it can, it can look bad. But the rebuttal from the minister with the documents to counteract those allegations, even though I feel so bad that she had to go to the distance to put out her personal business as a public servant, these things are required, especially in these circumstances. These things are required, especially in these. Yeah, Rudolph, I'm definitely investigating everybody. I had to vote for them people by. I don't want to look like a jackass. I don't want to look like a jackass at all. I vote for them people. I just have to know what I voted for. Right? Very important. Very, very important. So I check. Damn right I'm going to check, because I don't want nobody falsely accusing me. Anybody falsely, check, Scott, check. Bring the facts. But what I did notice though, and I'll tell you this straight, when political parties have their minions and everything else out there who are always talking this or spreading rumors or spreading lies and all of this bullshit, it's hard to know. It's hard to know. And once again, I will touch on something else. The spreading of false information should be considered a very serious offense. And I would call upon all political parties and all of their acolytes and everybody else under them, right, to stop spreading false information. Stop spreading false information. Rudolph, please check the Muhammad. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I personally don't need to do too much checking into Muhammad, because the evidence that stands against Muhammad is very, very strong, or the United States court would not have indicted him. The Guyanese court would not have charged him. I understand why they dropped the charges, because they don't want to slow down the extradition process, because the matter of smuggling and other things are very, 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 very big, and those matters are currently being addressed. But in fairness to the public needed a non-biased view of this matter. I also believe that it is a low blow to attack one of our female ministers, who also has ties to the natives of this country, and who has been working so hard to take advantage of that fact and to attack that woman. That woman, in my eyes now at this point in time, is a victim. She is a victim. She is a victim of a malicious, lawless, unfounded accusation. It is my personal opinion at this moment that this accusation has been created to deflect from other matters of national importance. And I would also like to state that this would not have been of such a big concern if there was not the question of swearing in an opposition leader on time. And I got to be careful how I say that too, because the Constitution doesn't necessarily stipulate the timeline within when they should, because, you know, like me right now, I got to be extremely careful. Chandler, Lila, bro, they will tell you, I've already heard people saying that I'm getting paid from the PPP and one set of shit. I tell you straight, once again, I tell you, I don't think the PPP likes me. I don't fucking even care if they do or if they don't. The PPP does not pay me. They have not helped me. You understand? But what I could appreciate is that they have been doing their job. Because, you know, they don't need to like me. I don't need my government to like me on a personal level. What I need my government to do is to do the right thing and to defend the rights of the people and to continue development and to make sure that the country is being managed correctly. Fuck liking me. Who the fuck am I? I'm not that important. You don't have to like me. But as a citizen of the country, you need to protect my rights and you need to defend the economy so that an honest, hardworking citizen can continue to grow. And by golly gee whiz, that is what is currently happening right now. Maybe there might be other areas where something funny is happening. I would not rule that out because our country is still developing. We're still growing. We know that there is corruption. But who or what is conducting the corruption, those things need to be verified. And I can tell you that this minister in question is probably one of the cleanest ministers we got. Right? A person said, how did she amass so much wealth so fast? She did not amass wealth fast. Right? She did not amass wealth fast. This woman is paying mortgages. She has high monthly payments. Right? She's got family income. She's got rental income. She's got the government salary. And based on all the facts that are coming up, or at least everything that was alleged against her, none of those things have been found to be handled illegally. Ravi, why is the minister's salary 1.2 million Guyana dollars a month? Because she's running freaking shit for an entire country. You know how hard that woman work can be? You don't want people to be paid? In fact, 1.2 million Guyana dollars a month is roughly about 6,000 US dollars a month for somebody who is helping and assisting and managing an entire country. Oh, let us be fair, my buddy. Let us be fair. That shit should be more. Unfortunately, the country's fucking now coming out of being broke, right? So things have got to gradually improve. In fact, as things gradually improve, the economy is going to get better and everybody's going to continue to benefit. But if somebody's working hard, that woman, let me tell you something. Investigation. Fact. The largest housing drive for Guyanese has been done under the watch of Susan Rodriguez. You want to talk about investigatory facts? Let's go there. Let's look at the facts. Right? Corinne, Darnick, it's not that public servants are underpaid. It's that based on the economy, things have to be done one way. And that's why when these people are earning their money, they invest in real estate. They invest legally in other areas. Legally, they invest in some of these other areas. Right? They invest in those other areas in order to build their personal wealth. And that's not bad. That's fucking brilliant. That's brilliant. And of course, if you're doing good and other companies and banking institutions see that you're doing a good job, you become more of an asset than a liability, and people will be willing to take out, high risk loans with you and all of these things. All of the facts that have been that's been presented, I should say, has been verified. Now, if there is somehow something else out there, it is not in those areas that have been alleged. Kamal, yo, you better than that. Please, bro, don't become like that person. You know that's bullshit, bro. Kamal, if you're telling me it's bullshit, you gotta show me where she robbed or violated the public. Because checking on the facts that were presented, my brother, put the emotions aside. Put aside all emotions. If you check on the facts, this woman hasn't, at least there's nothing out there. There's nothing out there to show any proof or legitimacy to the allegations made by Azzuddin Mohammed against the minister Susan Rodriguez. If there is something else that he has failed to declare or make a statement in the public, then I am unaware of that. I can only look into what has been made public knowledge. I'm a member of the public. I'm a public commentator. Lalita Kermish, yes, she understands how to leverage that there. That there is the key to the minister building wealth. She is fucking brilliant. Or she's been taking financial advice from brilliant people. Prove it. Prove it. I'm not going to be upset. I don't hate nobody for being financially educated. In fact, I think that every person in Guyana should be financially educated. But I will say a lot of this drama started because of a constitutional question. And even though it has been addressed, and we all understand why, you need to understand that people are going to ask questions. And if you can't give a straight, clean, and fulfilling answer to that question, it will just open up and leave more and more questions. And you don't want to leave yourself open to get shot. Heavens no, you don't want to leave yourself open to that type of attack. So you gotta, cross every T, dot every I. You need to be very, very careful with these matters. Right? Teachers are doing an important part, yeah, teachers are doing a great job. Are teachers doing the best jobs? Are teachers capable of doing the best jobs at this moment in Guyana? Probably not. The behavior of our children, the standard education practice. But that also has a lot to do with the children and the homes that the children are coming from as well. But I do believe that our teaching does need a lot of improvement. I have my son in the education system, and I've had to switch my son through varying schools already, just because I'm looking for a certain quality of education for my son. So I would say, though the teachers are doing their part, still more needs to be done. And there are multiple ways for teachers to make more money using their skill. But once again, a teacher might teach math, but might not teach financial literacy. Corinne, Darnick. So why all those brilliant people, persons in government cannot come up with a plan to lower the poverty rate of 58% in our country? In fact, they are. I've been paying keen attention to the growth of the economy and the opportunities that have been being made for the people. Right? And Guyana is better now than it's ever been made. Hands down, Guyana is better now than ever. Right? If 58% of the country seems to be poor, that means at least 30 to 40% of the country lazy. Because I can honestly tell you, as a businessman on the ground doing certain things, right? The amount of time I put out looking for work and looking for things, people ain't want to work. In fact, Guyanese people didn't want to work so bad that they hoping for a fucking handout, and the Spanish people come in and doing the work. I don't even know what Guyana's going to do in the next few months when all them Spanish start heading back to Venezuela, because Venezuela is actually a beautiful place. And now that the dictator is gone, Venezuela going to be better. I look forward to being able to visit Venezuela when it's rebuilt. When their government is good, because Venezuela was good to Guyana. The people of Venezuela were good to people in Guyana in the past. We cannot forget that. I am so happy to know that the people of Venezuela are being liberated. All right. Sorry about that. Unfortunately, we're still getting blackouts. So we just got hit with a blackout. Like somebody tried to stop this stream here. GPL, yo, man, y'all wicked bad stuff. I ain't even know what to say. You see, like, that's a prep area, we got a problem. Right? That's the area that we have a problem. That we spend all this money on electricity and we still can't get proper electricity. Now, Ravi, I understand where you're coming from, but let's talk about that in another live, because I don't want to get too distracted before any more power problems. Next thing you know, my internet can go on too, right? So, addressing the matter of the allegations made against the minister. And by the way, I encourage, I don't want anybody to believe me, right? Don't believe me. I could be a piece of shit. I could be fucking lying, right? Like people saying that the government is paying me. I wish the government was paying me. I don't get paid for the government, right? I wish somebody would pay me, because I have to work all the time and I don't get paid for it, right? But based on all of the facts presented, okay? Based on all of the facts presented, the allegations against the minister, at least in my opinion, based on my investigation, and if you want to see my investigation, anybody interested to know, it is very, very simple, right? The only thing that I will not expose to people is anything that is that woman's personal and private business, because that is not my place, right? But as it pertains to whether or not corruption was involved, and if there's any proof or any legitimacy that has been founded to the allegation made against the minister, none such has been found. But what has been found is that she is a hard-working woman. And now, as a man and as a citizen of Guyana, and as a supporter and a voter for this government from 2020, 2025, with full transparency and accountability behind what I say now, and I take accountability for what I say, I have not found any crime committed against the people of Guyana by the minister or past minister of housing, current minister of tourism, Ms. Susan Rodriguez. And I would kindly ask the public, to please lay off of this minister and give her the support that she needs, because she has also been one of our most active ministers in housing in terms of delivery under the government. Nalini, she should not show anything on Facebook to satisfy anyone's ego. Well, you know, let me tell you what, this isn't about ego, right? The fact that she is a government minister, the fact that, you know, she is in the public eye, the fact that she was associated at some point in time with Azadeen Mohammed, of which the man was able to show picture. I started to think the accusations levied against her required an address. Right? The fact that the United States government said that anybody who was associated with Mr. Mohammed or the Mohammeds in business or in anything else of that nature was subject to sanction and all sorts of stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, I know I voted for the PPP. I'm going to do my best to try and see what really going on. I don't want to be misled. So once it becomes public knowledge, it is important for the public to investigate the matter. But now, with all of the distractions going on, let us now refocus our attention to the accuser. With respect to Mr. Azadeen Mohammed, the presumptive leader of the opposition. Sir, we have heard the allegations that you have made. The public has been investigating the allegations you have made, whether the government choose to do it or somebody else. I can tell you I'm a very freaking fair person. I'm a very fair person. And I listen to everybody's complaints because I know what it is to be complaining and to not have your voice heard. And you have raised some very serious and interesting issues. I would like your support base. I would like members of the WIN party. I would like members of APNU, AFC, all opposition members. I would like everybody to pay attention to the fact that there are intelligent people here in Guyana. And in order for the country to move forward, the intelligent people in Guyana will come together to clarify facts, to make sure that we are not being misled. And for that reason, sir, when you have made your allegations against the minister, we listened. The minister listened. More importantly, the minister listened to the people, because you caused questions to be raised up. And by right, that is your job as an opposition. But what I would request, sir, is that you do not waste our time with false allegations. You do not manipulate the facts and put the public on a goose chase. That's one of the reasons I'm here. If the government talking shit, bro, if the government lying, bro, trust me, there are a lot of people here in this country that can defend or stand up for themselves, that can go ahead and push through. All we ask, sir, out of respect for you being the presumptive opposition leader, is that if you're bringing facts to the board, you bring tangible, hard-hitting, solid facts. Don't bring stuff that will make the Guyanese public run up and down because it looks solid. Because I tell you, we're going to check. I've checked. And I can list all the sources in which I've checked from. You gotta come better. You gotta come better. Arrow, yes. She gives more to the people. I don't know if you could say that she's giving more to people, but I know she's doing her job. And she's doing a damn good job. Sandra, Vincent, too many broken promises to the Guyanese people. Yes, that makes people question everything, right? But then the Guyanese people also have to understand that everything that's happening, it is a process. The government is in a process of repairing years or decades of damages. Well, I guess, well, you know, and so funny, but yeah, it kind of is decades of damages. Because even the PPP coming up, the PPP never promised to be a perfect party. The PPP is going to have its problems, it's going to have its faults. But I can tell you this, as it pertains to the leadership in the PPP, I've been watching them closely. I've been watching the leadership of the PPP so close, it's like it's like I living in their house. Because sometimes I feel disrespected by them, but I don't let my emotions cloud my judgment. Never allow your emotions to cloud your judgment. Nalini Singh? Well, right now, in my opinion, it looked like what the minister was saying is true. This gentleman is trying to deflect from the actual, status quo at the moment. Right? But I know no matter what happens, nothing ain't going to stop the U.S. government from coming to do what they have to do. Nothing will stop the Guyanese government from doing what they have to do. And my recommendation to Mr. Mohammed is to ensure that you have a very, very strong defense. And I hope that your defense is not grounded around the allegations that are being made against government officials. Because if that is the only defense, then I must say, my brother, I'm going to miss you very much. Right? The people of Guyana would miss you very much. At least for a few years. Right? This is serious shit. Serious shit. Right? And I got a lot of respect for the Mohammeds, but I just don't think that's cool. There needs to be more. Chander, yeah, the PPP is doing a good job. Maybe in the past they weren't, as good, but you have to allow room for improvement. You have to allow that. Arrow, I don't know who sell who out. I don't know anything of that nature. Right? I don't know anything of that nature. Also, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not here to beat up on Mr. Mohammed either. Because that gentleman there is allowed his day in court. Notice, I'm not here calling anybody names. I'm not saying anything bad. And I'm addressing everybody's concern with full respect. With full respect. And based on the allegations of corruption, at least there is no evidence to signify that those allegations are true and with merit. They are allegations, and realistically, in my opinion, they have been, based on the investigation I've done, they've proven to be false allegations. Unless something new comes up. Listen, because you never know. But there's nothing there. There's nothing there. And I'm doing this video with a sense of urgency because I recognize this as an attack now on our minister. And our minister being a Guyanese woman, no way you're going to victimize one of the women of our country. A hard woman, a hard-working woman at that. Don't do that. Oh, don't do that. It's wrong. And the minister will require protection from these types of attacks. Yeah. Yeah, just be patient. Hang on there. I need you there for when the trucks start coming. Right? I'll be up on site soon enough. Yeah, make sure there's nothing in the way, so when the deliveries start coming, we can continue filling up them people and continue doing what needs to be done. Right? Hold it down there until I get to site. Thanks. Good. I'm on a live. Thank you. Yes, guys. Sorry. You see, I still got to work, right? Got a good team with me, too. Volunteers. Everybody's doing their part. Right? But yes. Getting back to what I was saying, this here, in my opinion, right, is an attack on the minister's character. And in my opinion, it also proves to be an attempt to deflect from what is currently happening in the country. But I wanted to give everyone in the opposition the respect that I believe they deserve. I believe the voters of the opposition deserve respect. They are citizens of Guyana. And I believe that their voices need to be heard. Their concerns need to be heard. I wish that their representatives could be a little bit more tactful as to how they do things, and I wish that the information that is shared throughout the opposition can be a bit more true and correct. I mean, it can look like one thing but be something completely different. It can look like one thing but be something completely different. All this talk about the minister amassing wealth, the minister has amassed debt, not wealth. It's different. But controlled debt can build wealth. And that is natural financial practice. How many of us don't take loan? I mean, I haven't taken a loan, but how many of us don't take loan to build wealth? If taking a loan to build wealth is illegal, then 90% of the world or more need to go to prison. But for the mere fact, out of the respect for the people that voted for the opposition, that matter needed to be addressed. Members of the opposition, voters of the opposition, please hear my words here today. Do not be misled. It is good to have an opposition. We need an opposition, but an opposition needs to oppose on facts. It needs to oppose on facts. You cannot be in opposition and you are opposing based on lies. Cannot. Excuse me. Hey, can you make up tea? I think the water may still be hot because thank you for coming. Yes. You know, so you need to oppose based on facts. You need better strategies. Okay? I believe that the government is not the government, a democratic government, unless you have the administration and an opposition. Checks and balances, those things need to be there, right? but you need to start checking. You see, ladies and gentlemen, let's go through some of the accusations made and some of the accusations checked. First, there was an accusation about the president being associated and helping to clear something with a car or Lamborghini or something like that. And WhatsApp messages were posted by the presumptive opposition leader. When those messages were posted up, we checked. Even if somehow somebody was involved, there was no solid evidence to showcase that the president was involved there. Baited, right? Like I'm telling you, that was checked. There was no direct tying in to anything with the president there, accepting, claiming knowledge, or telling somebody that they would get help to remove taxes or any. There was no proof of that. If something like that did happen, it wasn't proven. At least not by the way in which the opposition leader put out, or the presumptive opposition leader put out the facts. Nothing proven. Then there was the statement about our Attorney General, who they said, who owns this building and who owns that building. Listen, let me tell you something. Anil Nandlal has been in politics in this country, as far as I know, for more than 20-something years. Anil Nandlal owns a prestigious law firm, or he's a partner, or whatever the case, in a prestigious law firm, right? The man's practice alone makes millions. That man does not need to involve himself in any corrupted means to build wealth. And if he has been, it has not been proven. Now, the attack on our Honorable Minister of Tourism talks of corruption, and the only thing that has been exposed from this is that she's brilliant with her personal finance. She has learned how to leverage equity. She's learned how to leverage cash flow. She's learned how to leverage these things. And anybody who walks around lying on anybody, I can't accept that. And once again, I can't support that, which is why I did not vote for the opposition. But for the sake of the voting citizens in the country who wants a balance and who wants to see fairness, they needed a voice. And in the absence of a strong, balanced personality to speak on behalf of those who are not being spoken for, ladies and gentlemen of the opposition, any one of you can ask me any question based on those topics and those things that have been brought up, and I can honestly tell you there is a solid, tangible, logical defense that will nullify any claims against those individuals, clear their names, and make sure that their reputation and character is held in good light, in a good light among the people of Guyana. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that I have addressed that. Now let me talk about the elephant in the room. Right? Let's talk about the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room that causes a lot of headache is slander and lies. And I would like to tell members of the PPP, the party I supported, that we have some parasites that are connected to this party, right? Who are doing the same thing that other people are doing, spreading slander, lying, character assassination, all of these things. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been fair. I've been checking it from all sides. The sword of justice has two edges, and it's going to swing in both directions if I am holding it. To the members who claim to be PPP members who are on social media, and I will go ahead and I will say, Mr. Lloyd Draper, I am naming you Scott personally. You have lied on me, and I expect it rectified. Because don't be fooled, my investigation into you has started. And the allegations you have made against me, I'm going to come at you legally. And I'm going to request that you provide your proof now, Mr. Draper. Ladies and gentlemen, all members of the PPP, we have individuals who are claiming to support the PPP in this country. And they have their social media platforms and they claim to be non-biased, but yet they peddle lies. Mr. Lloyd, I am not here to please your conscience or your ego, sir. Okay? I'm not here to be like you and to be a blind follower. I'm not here to slander individuals. I'm not here to wrongfully disrespect individuals. And if you don't know why the fuck I'm here, keep my goddamn name out your mouth, you piece of shit. Let me make this firm and clear. I will not tolerate lies going against people, and I can clearly defend myself. Okay? Now please, cease and desist from slander before I take it to another legal level. You don't have much, and I'm not into making people poor. I don't want what you have. Okay? But I will expose you for slander. And I will expose, since you said I was not welcomed on your program. Ladies and gentlemen, any program with Mr. Lloyd Draper should not be trusted for accurate information and should not be considered a support group for the PPP because it's going to make you guys look horrible. You're going to push away the independent, intelligent people that the government is going to need to support them to build a fair and free country. People like Mr. Draper are part of the fucking problem, peddling lies for personal agendas. No, Errol, do not pay anybody to slap him. We do not do that. The truth shall fuck him up. Fact. Stop lying on social media. Stop. You do not have to lie. You do not have to deflect. You do not have to go left or right to protect politicians. Stop kissing people's asses and do what is right for the people, Lloyd. This thing is about Guyana. It's not about the party. It's not about you. It's not about your fucking personal feelings. It's not about you trying to be something better. It's not about you trying to take a shortcut. If you wish to be something better in life, develop skills. Talk the truth. Don't slander people. Don't slander people. If you wish to talk the same way the opposition talk, you put up your facts. And the facts go up. And those things were being checked. And they have been found to be false. I feel you probably working with, I would like to take Mr. Draper working with the opposition to push smart people away from the PPP. tried to create hostility. And you're doing it in a slick way. No, no, no. And I feel so bad for the members of your panel who does not know the wickedness you are doing. And I would also encourage persons who are on opposition platforms to not address politics with lies. Please, if we are in the media and we can give an opinion, about the actions or conduct of somebody, we must put facts behind it. We must be non-biased. We must be straightforward. I'm so tired of the political propaganda and the pushing and the lying and all. That's why Guyanese can't trust nothing. That's why we got to keep checking everything. No, Errol. No. I do not believe that violence is the key. I believe in a process. But I am addressing an issue because the man slandered me on his live platform. He tried to trigger me into a fit of rage with the lies, and I just said, you know what? God bless you guys, and I back away. Because at the end of the day, I said, look at this foolish child. But you see, he proved himself to be a hypocrite. You see, ladies and gentlemen, birds of a feather flock together. If one man lying when people are trying to damage their character and it proved to be false, and another man lying of people trying to damage their character and proved to be false, them to his brother. Them to his brother. Them to his brother. Because two liars related scunt. Telling you straight. Don't play them games. Now that's me being emotional. But with the truth. Dare you disrespect me? Peddling false information. Because anybody that knows that information to be false would turn away from that platform in a heartbeat. And I challenge you, Mr. Lloyd, with your platform, and anybody who chooses to stand up with you, you can bring them all with all the accusations, but bring facts, sir, bring facts. Because if you only say something you can't prove beyond a reasonable doubt in the court of law, bro, I'm coming for you. Right? So, I'm giving you an opportunity, Lloyd. I forgive you. Apologize. Stop your skunt. And only deal with truth. And if things that are happening are beyond your level of intelligence, then shut your mouth and watch a little bit longer before you misbehave. And then the law come at you. Disrespectful. Disrespectful. Right? I've been putting my life on the line for this country since 2011 in the secrets and in the darks. I've been attacked. I've been victimized. I've been arrested. I've been beaten. I've been persecuted. And you know what? I still love you. I still forgive you. I forgive this whole fucking country for all the wickedness. Because hate will not fix our problems. So I forgive you. Because I'm not walking around with hate in my heart, man. I don't got that chip on my shoulder. I took all my weight and I gave it to Jesus. And Lloyd, I encourage you to find Jesus Christ as your Savior. Because whatever you worshiping now is not valid. Got you talking too much lie. Too much lie. But if you expect to be respected, you must be an honest man. And I would advise everybody in PPP and even other people from other political parties not to visit Lloyd Draper's platform. It is biased. It is one-sided. They don't allow people, well, I would say he, because he's the one to make these statements. I hold nobody else there responsible for the statements that Lloyd made. He said he personally said it. So good. Lloyd, this is personal. I'm personally telling you. Your platform is not a fair place for Guyanese people. And if you are repping the PPP, then you are doing them an injustice. I call upon members of the People's Progressive Party to boycott Mr. Lloyd Draper's platform because it's making members of the PPP look bad if Lloyd is on there talking lies. Right? So now, Lloyd, when you have your opportunity, don't hide on TikTok, you know. Make sure you come. Make sure you come to me and we can talk. And if you got something there, we can address the matter live and direct, transparent, and crystal clear. We can address it. But I will not allow people like you to tarnish the name of the government by spreading false information. Because you know what? You might think you're doing a justice for people, but you're not. In fact, you are promoting more corruption within the party by telling lies and slander and trying to get people to believe in lies and slander. We are here to be honest. We are here to clean up this system. No, Errol, I need people to know who these snakes are. Who these people are walking around lying upon people. The devil is a liar. Everybody lying upon each other. Yo, y'all done show me what family y'all is part of. So every matter shall be investigated. And I encourage anybody to investigate my affairs. I'm live and direct on TV all the time. Come to my site. Come look at me. I show you who my mama, my daddy is. I ain't got time. Right? I'm putting out the facts. I'm putting out the facts. Right? Also, Mr. Lloyd, on your social media, you're standing up with guns in your hand. Is that the impression you are giving to children? Any person who visits your social media, see you in your security outfit, holding guns like you's a big boy? Stop. We do not promote firearm culture in this country. Stop misleading our young people thinking that holding a gun is a cool thing. No, that is just for security and only security, not for modeling on Facebook. What message are you sending to our young men? What message are you trying to send to the public? That you're a big bad man because you got the gun? Stop. Stop. Stop the nonsense. Hold the Bible. Hold the Quran. Hold the Ramayana in your hand. Hold the word of God. No bullet or no weapon shall ever come against you if you hold the word of God. But stop trying to overcompensate for where you lack, sir. I'm a brother to you if you come in peace. But if you come in war, the truth shall dissect you. Please, I forgive you. Improve yourself, brother, and move forward. But if you continue to lie on your platform, I will shut it down. Make sure you know that. And I will expose it for what it is. Yes, Errol. I'm done there. I needed to get that point out, though. That was me being emotional. But that's me being emotional based on facts. Not fiction. Facts. And I got a nice hot tea. God is great. The simple things. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that this particular episode has clarified the facts for the public. And for anybody that wishes to investigate the allegations levied against our government officers by the presumptive opposition leader, Mr. Muhammad, just ask. I'll give you all the information. Information is listed right above. You can check. You can check. Everything has been verified. Anything outside of that's people's personal business. And whatever's people's personal business has nothing to do, has absolutely nothing to do with government work. Do not attack the women of our country. Do not wrongfully accuse the members of our government. There are people watching with intelligence who are fair. And likewise, to the government ministers and our powers that be, just know that the public is watching. We have given you our trust for you to guide the country and lead the country. The facts that we see are tangible, real results. And for that, I applaud you and we thank you. But protect yourself. Watch the associations that you keep. Be very, very mindful who is out there speaking to represent you, because if those people speak with lies and they're not smart, you look bad. Right? To the members of the opposition, I hope you guys have a blessed day. If there are questions, please feel free to ask the questions here. I will answer to the best of my knowledge truthfully, based on all that I have discovered and all that I have found. Anything that I cannot answer, I will state it straight to you for further investigation. But yes, Errol, in conclusion, Minister Susan Rodriguez has proven to be an honest, hard-working minister. She is a hard-working woman here in Guyana. She deserves to have her private life. She deserves to not be harassed or bothered. But at the same time, because she is a servant of the public, and those accusations have been levied against her, it did require some sort of digging into to see if anything was factual or not. Because at this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, what we need to do is absolutely protect the integrity of our government as our country is building. The region has its own forms of instability, and anything that can make our government look corrupt or anything like that jeopardizes the future of this country. So if anybody is making these allegations, please make sure that those allegations are founded and grounded in solid fact. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, I do have to get to work. I'm actually late, but if I didn't do this, I would be irresponsible. If I didn't come out here this morning before I even started my day, if I didn't do this, I would have been irresponsible. I left my work, I left everything. You know why? Because Miss Susan Rodriguez is a victim in this particular situation. And all victims must be protected with a sense of urgency. She has honored the public. The government of Guyana has honored the public. She has put up the facts. She has proven that she can speak for herself. She has proven she could stand up for herself. And she has proven she is more than capable of getting her job done. So I salute you, Ms. Rodriguez. And please forgive us for looking into matters. But as you can understand, there are very serious allegations made by a representative of at least a portion of the country. And it must be addressed in the most fair, clear, clean, and concise manner. Now, if anybody else could find sin in that woman's working, please do, because I have found none. She has followed all of the legal steps and everything checks out. And to everybody else in court, You got to figure this one out now. Because I can assure you, in a very short space of time, things are happening. Unless there's something more solid. But we haven't seen something more solid. We need, if you're gonna give us something, you need to give us something solid. And I'm pretty sure the FBI, the DEA, and everybody else is gonna say the same thing. If you're giving us something, you need to give us something solid. God, give us peace, peace, peace. We need something solid. Right? We need solid information. Right? Arrow, yeah, well, at least I could tell you Susan clean, based on what we checked. She's just good with managing her finances. She's got loans, she's got mortgages. Those things are like, they're there. Ravi Ramkaran, I need your support to voice my concern about my house lot. We apply. Okay, so I don't work in the Ministry of Housing. I've never personally went in and applied for a house lot. I probably have the right to. I probably should be entitled to one. Right? But I have never personally went in and personally applied for a house lot at this point in time. I'll probably do that later, but I didn't. And the reason why I didn't is I don't want people to feel that somehow government buying me with house lot. Right? Because that would have been the next accusation. I've never received anything from the government. I don't really affiliate or hang out with ministers. I don't do that stuff. Like I said, for a long point in time, I think they just dislike me. But whether you like me or don't like me, whether I like you or don't like you, truth is truth. Honesty is honesty. And provided the country can be run honestly, everybody will be represented. Ravi, what I would recommend for you, though, is to go to the Ministry of Housing and follow up on the process. I don't understand how so many other people have been getting house lots and you have not gotten yours yet. I'm pretty sure it could just be a paperwork problem because, like I said, from what I'm seeing, there's a lot of people. Unless somewhere down the line there's a personal problem between you and certain people, in which case I would hope that those people who might be personally targeting people put aside all your bullshit, treat every citizen the same, treat us with respect. That's the most that I could say. Ravi, head down to the ministry and just give us an update on how those things are following through. But make sure you follow all of the necessary steps based on the legal framework. Okay? And then follow up. Anything you're doing, send them letters via email so that, send them via email so that you can always get a follow-up. I did 3 times. We live in the U.S. So here's the thing. You want to get the house lot in Guyana. You're living in the United States. Who is your representative in Guyana acting on your behalf? Because, buddy, there are thousands and thousands of people in line, and you must admit that the country is now catching up with a lot of things, right? The government's been trying to help and assist people for many years now. Then you had APNU in power from 2015 to 2020. You don't know what type of skullduggery went on inside the offices in those times, right? So you do have to understand that they are getting to it. But then too, I don't know the specifics or if you're requesting a particular area and if that area is filled or if they're, you see, these are all things. And I believe that when people make those statements such as you have, I don't believe you put all of the relevant information out there. So I think it might need to be looked into a little bit more. Maybe if you could explain yourself differently, write something down, explain the process, send it to me in a private message. I'll look over it. If, at least if I could give advice, the advice I give is free. It might not be legally binding, right? But I'll give you the advice that I could give you to the best of my knowledge about the situations and the law and, see if there's something you could have probably done a little differently. Maybe you might have had to do your application a little differently, something like that. I can kind of point you in the right direction. And there are government agencies and people there to help assist you. You can also go to CHPA website and you can follow up there. Right? Annette, Ali sell back my land 4 places when he was Minister of Housing. Ali's a far. Okay, well, if that's what you're saying, you got Annette, once again, that sounds like an accusation. You need to put the facts up there. Nothing will stop you from highlighting all of the facts and putting it on your Facebook page. You can do that. Any individual, if you have a complaint, if you have an issue, nothing stops you, right, from putting all of the facts on your Facebook page with your picture, your name, so you can be held accountable. But can I speak on an accusation that I have not checked? No, I cannot. I don't know what's going on with the 3 to 4 different play. I don't know that. Like I said, I am not the person responsible for that. Nor, have I been involved with requesting land for the government or ever applying for land on a personal note. But I know people who have applied and have already got through. I know people who have been waiting very long. Some of those people, it's because they have particular request. Exactly, Arrow. If anybody has, get the names and do your follow-ups. It's easy to do follow-ups. The same way people come up here and they tell me this stuff, right? It's easy to do follow-ups. Annette, post your whole thing there. If you got evidence to say that all of these things happen and you are accusing our president of fraud, right? Everything here, put your stuff up. Show the entire thing. Nobody is stopping you. Show it. After you show it, it will be reviewed. At least I can look at it from my point of view. But remember, at the end of the day, I'm not the government official. All I am is a citizen that can give an opinion. That is all I am. A citizen with an opinion and concerns. That is it. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, God bless you guys. Have a good day. And please stop attacking that woman. That woman is a victim in this thing. And we need to protect the women in our country from victimization. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day.